Alright, hey guys, what's going on? It's Dark FP here. Today we're going to be going to a little deck profile that I built. I built this from straight scratch. I made this on my own. You can see the black is my extra deck and my white is my main. This is my Dark Magician deck. A lot of people, especially pros and all the like Yu-Gi-Oh, like I don't know. They'll call it something else because of the cards that are in here, but this is my legit Dark Magician deck. I don't care. Everything's based on my Dark Magician, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. We have 3 Dark Magicians. Those are the main characters of the deck. And then we're going to go off to a Magician of Black Chaos and Dark Magician of Chaos. These are very vital. They rely on Dark Magician, and Dark Magician is just a booster to get those out there. We have 3 Buster Bladers. Buster Bladers is another key to the deck. Basically for every dragon in each graveyard or on the field, it gains like 400 attack, I believe. No, it's 500 attack. So that's pretty good. I use Buster Bladers a lot. That's probably the most card to pull. 3 Performage Trick Clowns. If it's sent to the graveyard, it comes back at 0/0. Pretty good effect. And then Time Wizard. He's one of the best monsters I could probably pull out as long as I call it right. Magician Valkyria. As long as this is on the field, it's really a good effect as long as I have Dark Magician or one of my Dark Magician of Chaoses in there. Because if this is on the field, I can activate effect, and my opponent's monsters can only target this card for an attack, so it saves my other ones, and it'll just waste their turns, kinda. So we have 2 Engravers of the Mark. Basically, forgot what they do, but I'm pretty sure you guys, whoever are watching, is doing. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect by declaring exactly 1 card name. Okay, so basically, I can send this from my hand to the graveyard without it being on play, using its effect. When my opponent decides to say Spell Sharding Arrow, and I have a bunch of spells I'm relying on, like field spells, continuous spells, equip spells, I can send this from my hand to the graveyard and call it like a token or anything, and it's basically going to waste their card as long as I discard this to the graveyard. So just another essential. Alright, so these are going to just be basically monsters I just threw in here because I really don't have good cards at the time. White Titan or Summoner Monk, Power Supplier, Alexandrite Dragon. He's only in here because it boosts my Buster Blader and Dark Paladins. And then we have Stern Mystic, Crystal Seer, Feral Imp, Maha Vailo, Ancient Elf, Mystical Elf. So those are all my monsters. I'm going to go ahead and clear the table so we can get the rest of this going for traps and spells. Alright. So for spells, top spell is a field spell. It protects my Dark Magicians and all Spellcasters on the field with 200 or 2,500 or more attack. If you control a Spellcaster type monster and your opponent does not, your opponent cannot activate spell cards. So basically, as long as I have like a Dark Magician on the field with high attack, because that's what I rely on, which was why I'm saying the Dark Magician attack. As long as this is on the field for a field spell, this cannot be destroyed unless it's through like a effect or a trap. The opponent cannot activate spells, so it's a really good field spell. I don't see a lot of Dark Magician decks play that field spell, matter or less a field spell at all. Alright, so next up we have Magic Formula. Basically, target a Dark Magician or Dark Magician girl, and it gains 700 attack, and when this is destroyed, I gain 1,000 life points, so it's basically like a booster. We have Eye of Timaeus, or whatever you want to call it, Timaeus. I just added this in here a while ago, and I think it was good. Okay. The top sentence, basically, it's what it's treated as, doesn't matter. Target 1 Dark Magician monster you control and fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that lists that monster on the field as fusion material. Using its fusion material, you can activate this once per turn. I kind of just forgot what that was. But I know it's really going to help me out. Enemy Controller, a good common that's going to help me out. Dedication through Light and Darkness. Basically, tribute 1 Dark Magician and bring out my Dark Magician of Black Chaos, or whatever you want to call it. I get the names mixed up between the ritual and the normal one. Black Magic Ritual, Black Magician of Chaos. Very key. Alright, Emblem of the Dragon Destroyer. Basically, just go through my deck and bring out a Buster Blader in my hand. It's going to help me out if I have Dark Magician in my hand and I have Polymerzation in my hand. So that way I can bring out Dark Paladin. It'll help me out a lot. Magical Dimension. As long as I have a Spellcaster on the field, I can target one I control and tribute it. And then bring out any Spellcaster from my hand. So basically, if I have a Dark Magician in my hand and I say I have Feral Imp, or not Feral Imp, but Mystical Elf on the field, I can get rid of that and then bring out Dark Magician from my hand through a special summon. Then we have Dark Magic Attack, 2 copies, destroy all spells and traps on the field as long as I carry Dark Magician on the field. 2 copies of 1,000 Knives. Basically, if I control Dark Magician, target one monster in my opponent's field and destroy it. I only carry 2 copies of each because I feel like I have too many spells and traps in my deck, which overviewing it, I wish I could make 3 copies of each. But I have some monsters in here that I could really use as a booster to help my deck out. 2 Polymerizations, everyone knows what those do. We have 2 MSTs, and then we have 2 Swords of Revealing Lights, so that's okay. And that's it for these spells. We're going to go ahead and get into the traps. We have 1 Eternal Soul, Secret Rare. A lot of people are looking for these. I recently pulled this out, and I'm really happy to get it. Every Dark Magician in your monster zone is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. If this card is face up and leaves the field, destroy all monsters you control. So basically, there's a bad effect about it, but as long as you have this, it's really good. One of the 2 effects you can activate once per turn. Special summon a Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard. So basically, if one gets destroyed, I can flip this on the opponent's turn and bring it back out. And then do something I can with my cards in my hand. If not, wait for my opponent to make their move. And then second effect is add 1 Dark Magic Attack or 1,000 Knives from your deck to your hand. So basically, if I have Dark Magician in my hand and I can summon it next turn, as long as my opponent doesn't mess me up, I can use those booster spells to help me out. 1 Fairy Wind, gold foil. Destroy as many face-up spells and traps on the field as possible. And for each card, the player takes 300 life points for each card. So both players take that effect. 1 Kunai of Chain, a rare. It's really good. It's common. You guys should know that. Call the Haunted. Basically, if I need a Dark Magician, I can bring this out with hit. Magician's Circle. Divine Wrath. Basically, if a monster effect is activated, I can discard 1 card and negate the activation. Black Illusion. A lot of my friends hate this, especially TJ. At the end of the turn, until the end of this turn, dark spellcaster type monsters with 2,000 or more attack you currently control cannot be destroyed by battle. Their effects are negated. Also, they are unaffected by your opponent's card effects. So, basically, all my monsters, all my cards in the field are negated, but they cannot attack mine, and plus opponents are negated as well. So it's really good if I want to activate it my turn. If I set it my previous turn, and I want to do like a big critical hit combo, it's going to help me out sometimes. If not, I can paralyze them so that they can't do anything on my turn, and then again go through their cards and send them all to the banish or graveyard. This deck doesn't really rely on banishing. It's more or less a destroying. Magic Cylinder. 2 copies of Mirror Force. 2 copies of Malevolent Catastrophe. And then 1 Torrential Tribute. So that's it for my traps. Basically, this deck is maybe a good starter for Dark Magicians, but I would see it as more. I think it's an overall good deck. All right, so now we're gonna get into our extra deck. I might have said side deck at the beginning, but I don't really carry side decks. All right, so this is gonna be short and simple. 1 Ebon Illusion Magician. A lot of people are looking for this card. I've seen it's worth $12 now. I'm not sure. Oh. Alright, 2 level 7 monsters. All these cards, I believe. Yeah, 2 level 7 monsters are my XYZs. Okay, so basically, you can also XYZ summon this card using a rank 6 Spellcaster type XYZ monster you control as the XYZ material. I don't have any level 6 XYZ, so it doesn't matter. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. Special summon 1 Spellcaster type normal monster from your hand or deck. When a Spellcaster type monster declares an attack. You can target one card your opponent controls, just banish it. You can use one of the effects of Ebon Illusion once per turn. So it's going to help me out a little bit if I want to get like Dark Magician out in the field. I always want to try to get him out on the field as much as I can. Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon, I added him in here recently because I pulled him recently from a booster pack. 2 level 7 monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has XYZ material. While this card has XYZ material, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflicts 500 damage to your opponent immediately after it resolves. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, then target 1 Red Eye's normal monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, or special summon it. I didn't read the rest of the sentence, that's why I said or. The Red Eyes part doesn't matter. A lot of people want to get that off my hands, especially my friends Ben and TJ. I know Ben would probably take that more than TJ would, because Ben has a lot more Red Eyes cards, because I gave him a bunch. But Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon is mainly like an attack, like if I want to get like good hits on an opponent, and as long as it has XYZ material, it's going to help me out. Then we have 2 copies, different editions of Dark Paladin. For each dragon in the field or graveyard, it gets... I'm just going to read the effect. Must be fusion summoned, cannot be summoned by other ways. During either player's turn, when a spell is activated, you can discard 1 card and negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. This card gains 500 attack for each dragon-type monster on the field or in either player's graveyard. So my Alexandrite Dragon is going to help that by 500 points. That 1 card makes a difference as long as I can get it to the graveyard, or if I use it as a material for Polymerzation to send it to the graveyard. But it's not going to work because Dark Paladin requires Dark Magician and Buster Blader. So that is it for my deck profile of Dark Magician. If you guys have any suggestions of what I should do to it, or any clues as to what cards I should get. I know a lot of people are saying Max C's and Effect Veiler. I'd love to get those, but those cards are really costly. So if you guys enjoyed this video, smash that like button and leave a comment. If you guys want to see some more unboxings and deck profiles later on, let me know, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.